Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Hit Start to Play podcast. It's your boy, the captain of the ship, Big Man Jack. And today, obviously, I've got my co-host. Say hello.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be. Hope you're keeping safe in the current circumstances. I'm Ben. And one thing I want to say from both of us before we crack on is thank you all very much for the support.
Yes.
It has been very well received in the short time we've been doing this. So
Yes.
Thank you.
It's been a bit of a madness, to be honest. I also want to congratulate you, Ben, on saying your name for the first time since episode 1. So congratulations. You've remembered your name. I'm impressed. Anyway.
Thank you.
Now all the formalities are out of the way, let's take us away with the news of the week.
Right. A few games that have been announced, nothing major at the minute, but a couple of remakes and some more reveals on some already announced games. We'll start with Resident Evil since there's a bit on that. Resident Evil 8 demo is live. If you guys want to play that, go for it.
Yep. Is that not just on PS5?
Might be. I actually don't know. Might be.
I think I heard that it was on PlayStation 5, but yeah, I could be wrong. I'd
imagine it is. Yeah. It's spooky. Yeah, the gameplay style very similar to PT and Resident Evil 7. Looks really good. You see the main villain as well. So cool. I think like some Edward Scissorhands looking woman.
Nice. So
I think that could be good. Give that a go if you please.
Resident Evil fans should be impressed then, right?
Yeah. I think so. It looks very good. It looks very promising.
Lovely.
Keeping on the Resident Evil sort of train, Resident Evil 4, which widely regarded as the best Resident Evil, is being rebooted. It is being currently worked on, but however they have sort of put it aside a minute, but as apparently there are quite a lot of disputes within the company on how they wanted to do it, which I personally think might be because the game's so beloved they're worried about changing stuff. So I think they're taking more time on it, which I think
that makes
sense.
Be a
good thing.
That makes sense. The last thing you want to do is release a reboot of a game, like you said, that's loved, and then it ends up being a huge stinker, and then the sort of memory of the old game's tainted.
I think Resident Evil 3 Remake had that sort of taste where Resident Evil 2 Remake was so good, and then the third one come out and they had cut half the game and it just wasn't as good. It was disappointing, so I think they want to kind of rebuild from that.
Alright, yeah. I rate that.
Yeah, on the topic of remakes, Diablo 2 is supposedly being worked on by Blizzard.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I've never been a huge Diablo guy, but I can appreciate the games and they're very popular.
I think I've played it as a kid, the first one.
I played the first one, yeah.
Think, and because I mean a bit of backstory, I'm really interested in speedruns and stuff, and there's people that speedrun. I want to say the second one, and it's hugely RNG based, and like just looking at the gameplay and stuff, it's interesting. So I think for Diablo fans, you know, a reboot of the second one, which correct me if I'm wrong, is probably the most popular one out of all of them. I think
so, yeah.
So that should go down well for all you know, Diablo fans. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, Returnal, a game we mentioned last week. More gameplay has been revealed, and they revealed more weapons, tools, and an alien parasite that attaches to your arm, which I believe gives you alien powers, so kind of Prey-esque, where you could kind of dabble in human and alien powers.
So it's the alien Pip-Boy, that's what you're telling me.
Sort of.
I like that.
Sort of, yeah, I guess it could be dubbed as, the alien
for someone
Pip-Boy.
That has no idea, you know, that works. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to start calling it that now.
It's the alien Pip-Boy.
The alien Pip-Boy. Atomic Hearts. Bioshock-like FPS game. Bioshock for me, one of the best franchises in gaming. Very excited. Very similar sort of style. Not sure if it's made by the same devs. I believe it is.
I would assume so.
Excited.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever really played them, have you?
Correction, I have never played a Bioshock game in my life.
You're missing out.
I mean, like I've heard good things about Bioshock and stuff, but I'm a big wuss, So
Yeah, the first two are creepy. Yeah.
when it comes to like, I won't even, I didn't even watch, I wouldn't even watch Paranormal Activity, right? And that's not
Oh
scary at all.
God.
So anything that even remotely freaks me out, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm head out. You
Get
know what
this
I
man some
mean?
stones.
So, but yeah, for Bioshock fans, I think it's big. Is it related to
I
Bioshock
don't
at all,
know.
or
No.
is it something completely
It's a
different?
completely fresh
Right.
IP, but it supposedly takes a lot of sort of
Oh, cool.
inspiration from it.
There you go. There you go. Good
Onto the
stuff.
actual news.
Mm,
Vicarious Visions, the devs of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and the Crash Bandicoot remakes, has merged with Blizzard.
yep.
I'm not sure how I feel on this.
I mean, I don't like
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
No, I don't either.
They're like the reason why I don't like Blizzard, is something to do with World of Warcraft. So back when World of Warcraft first come out, and people were really into like MMOs and stuff like that. Like you had two MMOs. You had RuneScape and you had World of Warcraft that were similar, I guess. I mean, World of Warcraft more like magic and elves and warlocks and stuff, and then RuneScape was medieval. Difference was RuneScape was free. Warcraft you had to pay X amount of money, and then they just kept adding expansion after expansion after expansion and making you pay for every single expansion. And you just think, come on, like
Must
give
work though.
give the player something.
Because
I
I've
mean,
heard a lot of people say that they've gone from RuneScape to WoW.
oh
But I've
no, yeah, they
never
do.
heard it the other way round.
Yeah, that's because RuneScape's kind of stuck. It's just you just unless you played it before, it's not a new game. Like it's not a game that you go into
Yeah,
brand new. It's like a game that unless you played it before, you're not gonna have a clue what's going on.
yeah. I
So
wouldn't ever go into it now. Like
no,
personally,
no,
I've
exactly.
never played it before.
Yeah. But like going back to them, like sort of merging. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Time will tell for me.
Blizzard have a bit of a bad rep as well. I'm not going to
Mm.
get into this because it's a bit touchy, but the Hong Kong thing, I don't know if you know what happened with Hong Kong and
Yeah,
Blizzard. It was
I've heard something about it.
yeah, they exploited a lot. I'm not going to get into it because it's a touchy subject, but
Hmm.
they exploited a lot of stuff that happened in Hong Kong not
That's
too long
yeah,
ago.
yeah. No, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah,
And
it's
obviously, Diablo
interesting
4
practice.
is something that people really wanted. And I remember they went in at an event to announce a new Diablo game. Everyone was excited, and it turns out it was a mobile Diablo game. And then when everyone started like booing and getting disappointed, the geezer who was talking for Blizzard got really defensive and started like going, "Do none of you have mobile phones?" It was
Yeah,
like, oh
great
no.
defense there, boys.
Like,
Don't you
oh no.
worry.
So for me, Blizzard, they haven't handled like Overwatch as well. It's kind of dead now.
Oh God,
It's a
no.
game that it was Game of the Year 2016, and now it's very dead because
You've
of
just
the way
triggered the
Blizzard's.
hardcore
Yeah,
Overwatch community.
oh yeah, I know. I'm about to get so much hate, but
Game's dead though, straight up.
okay, yeah, and I think that's Blizzard's down to Blizzard
Yep, I agree.
personally.
And I just
But
hope they don't ruin Crash Bandicoot. I mean, to be honest, Tony Hawk, I'm not that. Like, I have the remaster, or the 1 and 2 one. And it's good. It's a fun game, but I just hope they don't ruin Crash, because I love Crash.
I don't know if Vicarious made Crash 4 though, so
I don't know, to be honest.
I don't think they did. So I don't know if that'd be too much of an issue. I think they only dealt with the remakes.
I mean, like, I just remember the Vicarious Visions intro.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
that's legendary, that.
I'm not
But yeah,
sure. I could be wrong though.
interesting.
We've got a few bits on Microsoft. This has kind of changed back and forth over the past week. Originally, Microsoft came out and said that they were doubling the price of gold membership. So, for example, a year originally is like £60, 60 something dollars, whatever the
I think
conversion
it's
is.
$69.99, I believe.
Yeah, maybe.
Something along those
But they
lines.
come out and said that it would be £120 for a year now, which is nah.
You can
Come
get
on.
in the bin with that. Sorry, correction. That was $120 they wanted to put it up to.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Like,
That's
get
ridiculous.
straight in the bin with that.
and then they kind of went about. Sony and Nintendo had no plans to raise any prices for theirs, and fan backlash, and they decided to go back on that and not double it, and to kind of calm the PR storm, they have confirmed now that free games to play, Microsoft do their free games thing.
Yeah.
You won't require a gold membership to get those anymore,
I didn't
which is a good
realise you
thing.
did anyway.
Yeah, no, it's like games with gold and things before, but they've changed it so it's like
So the equivalent
with
of PS.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
You have to have Plus to get the free games, whereas in Xbox you won't need the equivalent.
Do you think it's a power play by Microsoft?
I think
Do you
it's
think
just
it's-
calming the storm, to be honest, that they've created.
I think it's interesting because, they obviously knew for a fact that it was going to cause some form of backlash. Like, there's no way, the CEO or
Yeah.
whoever deals with that goes, oh, that's something that's already $60. Let's double it.
Yeah,
Why not?
$60, especially in the current circumstances.
Yeah.
It's a lot to a lot of people.
Let's just double it. Why not?
Yeah,
There's no
doubling it
way
is
that
really extreme.
there's no way they didn't expect backlash from that. It's not people are not just going to be like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine, mate. You know what I mean? Like
people get mad at Netflix because they raise the prices $1 every other month. Like, and here's Microsoft like, hold my beer, slapping them double the cost. Onto gold.
Let's see how much like stuff we can stir up. Let's just double our price. Like, I don't know, man.
I'll tell you why they're doing it. It's because they want double the money so they can buy all these companies faster.
Yeah, watch episode if they're interested. We shared our thoughts on Microsoft in episode 3. So go back and watch that one and
Was it 3?
the reference. No, it was 2.
Wrong.
You
Was it
are
2?
correct. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Episode 2, where we spoke about Microsoft and our opinions, and that reference will make sense. So, yeah.
Cheeky plug.
Well,
Carrying on with Microsoft, Halo Infinite, pretty hyped as one of the bigger launch titles that got delayed because I remember the E3. Well, no, it wasn't E3, was it? E3 was cancelled. It was they showed Halo Infinite gameplay, and it was completely, the graphics on it looked like something out of PS2. So there's a lot of backlash. The game's been delayed. But
what is it with developers doing that?
Yeah, it's becoming more and more common that games are having to be delayed, which I don't have a problem with. But as long as a game comes out in a working condition, then I think it's justified.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But to actually get onto the news for this, Microsoft announced that if you can sign up for Halo Insider right now, so go and do that if you're interested in this game, and you can get a chance, I don't know how it works, if it's like a competition or something, but you can get a chance at playing Halo Infinite early. So if you want to do that, go do that.
There you
Next up, games done quick. We mentioned, or you mentioned speedrunning a little bit earlier. Games done quick this year in 2021 has raised 2.7 million for charity. Absolutely incredible. Yeah.
Which is mental. So to put that into perspective, last year they raised a total of $3.1 million, and that was across 54,000 donations, which is it links back to we said about the Sekiro Island, and people raised money for that.
Yeah, Sekiro, Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, they raised that amount of money, and these are gamers. Like, it's mental, and so the money that they raise goes to a Prevent Cancer Foundation.
Yeah.
Which again is is huge. All this money will be used in the battle to fight against cancer. So
it's a lot of money, and it's I think it's entertaining to watch actually as well. Like, cause some of these guys are like incredible at these games.
I don't know how their brains work that quick. I really don't.
And speaking of speed runs, there is actually I don't think this was on Games Done Quick, but like Hitman 2's been out a couple of weeks, and someone managed to beat the first level. Yeah, Hitman 3, sorry. Managed to beat the first level in 8 seconds.
Yeah, it's I wish I knew how. I really do.
I tried speed running Dark Souls once, and I did okay. Didn't get near world record time, but It's just the
Yes.
min-maxing that you have to do on every single second. It's like,
Hmm.
it's a lot to keep up with.
It's incredible. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. 2.7 million already, and I don't know how many events they do a year.
I think it's like 2 or 3, isn't it? Because it's usually
But
awesome games done quick. There's like bad
yeah,
games done quick. It's sometimes a thing they do.
yeah.
There's one in the summer every time.
Yeah, so I mean we're what, not even a month into 2021, and
It's already
it's
that amount of money.
$2.7 million. Is That's a lot of money. It's
Yeah, good on them.
a lot of money. Yeah, fair play, fair play.
But speaking of money,
Oh,
Tencent has just purchased. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I believe it's Clay Entertainment, Clay, I'm not sure. Who
mhm.
produced the game Don't Starve is probably their most popular title. Tencent, if you don't know, company that deal heavily in microtransactions. So League of
Ugh.
Legends is a big one that Tencent deal with. Riot Games and Tencent have sort of a partnership where Tencent make a lot of money off of the microtransactions
Mhm.
and things like that. And fun fact actually about this, I heard that Riot were trying to give away some stuff at one point, and Tencent turned around and said no because you make money off that. Things like
Uh,
that.
I mean, I rate it. You know, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, League of Legends, the amount of money that game brings in.
Yeah, it's a
You
strange
know.
purchase. Like Client Entertainment, they make like Don't Starve and stuff. I can't see the microtransaction
Oh, they'll
sort of.
find a way.
Oh yeah, there's going to be something, but a lot of people, this isn't like a very popular thing. This isn't a popular sort of purchase. But I
Yeah.
think that's what you get. Tencent, they're a bit notorious for coming into the American market from China and kind of just buying stuff to make profit.
It is a very weird uh get like game development cut. Like, you remember N Plus?
Yeah,
They made that.
that was
I'm,
that
I'm
ninja game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
It was
Yeah,
like platforming and stuff. It was really
yeah.
hard.
I'm looking at these games and I literally don't recognize any of them. I,
I don't recognise a lot of the games either.
that's a strange purchase.
I don't know why. Like Don't Starve is probably the biggest one there that a lot of people will have heard of. But other than that, yeah, I couldn't name you one off the top of my head that
It
they've.
says it says they would remain in full control of their products, but Tencent acquisition would help them reach into the gaming market in China.
Yeah.
So
Which,
that to me makes me think there's something in the works.
oh
Something
yeah, they'll bring something out riddled with
interesting anyway. Oh
microtransactions.
God, yeah, yeah, but
What could
I
it
don't
be?
know. Very strange. There's only 35 employees, interestingly enough.
What in
That's it.
Cly?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't
Yep.
surprise me. I'm pretty sure all their games are indie games. So
Yeah.
yeah, no,
It's,
that's.
fair enough. I
But
guess we'll
moving
find
on,
out. Hmm.
Valve, and I've genuinely forgotten his name. Who's the guy that made Steam?
Gabe Newell.
That's it. Yeah, Gabe Newell has announced that Valve are working on new games and will be announcing some very soon. And this has drawn the internet
Oh
into
God.
a wide range of speculation about some certain series that need a third game that haven't quite got a third game yet.
You mean
Portal,
TF3? Got it.
Half-Life, Team Fortress, Left 4 Dead. There's a
Yeah.
lot of speculation in it, so these games could be there. And I'm going to shut that right down and say, don't be silly.
Half-Life
Half-Life
3 is
3,
never coming.
not happening. Portal
Is
3, not happening.
No. Team
Left 4 Dead
Fortress
3,
3.
not happening.
Stop.
I think Team Fortress is the only one that's even remotely viable on the list there.
Did you see there was a Kickstarter project, right? So for people at home that aren't aware of what Kickstarter is, it's a website where you can make a project and people donate money to you to get your project off the ground. And there's these two blokes that created this marketing campaign to try and get Half-Life 3
That doesn't even
started.
surprise me.
And their like reward tiers were like, oh, you get a T-shirt with Half-Life 3 on it. And I'm like, for a start, I don't think that's your intellectual property to
No.
sell. So enjoy being sued. Second off, why are people going to give you money for you to then go to Valve and say, we want Half-Life 3. People have been doing that for years and nothing's changed. What
Yeah.
makes you think that because you've got this money, now all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, hold on a second. There's two fellas that have put this massive billboard outside our headquarters. We've got to
Saying
make it now.
Half-Life
Like,
3.
you
I
just think,
reckon
what?
Half-Life 3 could possibly be the most requested game of all time. That's
Yeah,
never happened.
I can't really disagree with that, to be honest.
I'm like, yeah, we all want Half-Life 3, but I think it's time we accept now that I don't think it's coming. We got Half-Life Alyx. It's a shame it was VR only, but I don't have a VR, so I didn't play, but supposedly it was fantastic.
I mean, I've never played a Half-Life game in my life, so I can't really comment, but...
They're absolutely amazing, but I think it's time now to kind of put it down and be like, right, I don't think it's ever coming.
Yeah, it's done now.
I don't know what Valve's problem is with third games in their series, but if it's
Maybe it's
anything
just
to
their
like
thing.
go by, it's probably not happening, unfortunately.
Maybe it's just their thing. Who knows?
But also speaking of stuff that's not happening, Konami have had a complete meltdown and have shut down some divisions. I'm pretty sure this is temporarily while they restructure their whole business. So this means that PES, Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, and Hideo Kojima have all been affected by this. I'm not really sure what's going on here, because this news, just for context, literally dropped about a half hour to an hour before we're recording this now.
Yeah.
So there isn't a huge amount of news on this, but Konami for now, they have assured us that they are not shutting down completely. Forever. They're not shutting down this gaming division forever, but they are shutting down divisions to restructure their whole business. I'm not sure why.
So it's been reported that it's dissolving production divisions 1, 2, and 3, whatever that means. But they've assured us that they're not shutting down game production.
Yeah.
So there will still be Konami games, just at the moment, I have no idea.
We don't know when or what, but we know it won't be any of the major franchises at the moment.
So, who knows? Like I say, it's literally just like these articles are for like 2 hours ago, 30 minutes ago, so no one really knows. But
when I was compiling news, it was something that literally came out when I had a quick look before we started recording, so I had a look.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that is about it for the news this week. There's quite a bit,
quite a bit of
big news. Yeah, but let's crack on. I think we should talk about what games. This could be during your childhood or games we've played. It could be even someone you played yesterday. What game, if you could, hypothetically go back and play games for the first time, what would you play?
I rate that we're starting with the more positive one. I like that because I think my list of negatives are like a lot longer. But
for once, my positives are actually higher than negatives. I think here.
Oh mate, apparently I just regret all my life decisions at this point. So, judging off this list, it's pretty appalling. Anyway, so I've got a comprehensive list, and I will try my best to explain each individual one. Whether it's a good explanation or not, we'll find out. So, I'm going to start off, and this is just all of them, other than the PS2 ones, because they were terrible. Spyro.
Okay.
Spyro games as a whole. I got the remaster, and I platinumed every single one of them, and I was disappointed when I was finished, because there was nothing more for me to do. Like, those games, for me, I don't know if it's the soundtrack, because the soundtrack's incredible. I want to point that one out. Soundtrack, top notch, love it. But the gameplay is just so simple, and so, what's better than running around as a dragon, running people down and blowing flames out your nose?
See, for me, where you say the gameplay's simple and that's why you like it, my opinion's the opposite with this.
Yeah.
That's why I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Spyro at all. But for me, the games are 50-50. I played all the new ones, but they weren't anything special to me. And I think I'm a Souls fan, so simple gameplay just isn't in my vocabulary.
I mean, I'm old, so, my brain doesn't work like it used to. So maybe that's just age. Who knows? But yeah, Spyro is definitely up there. Um, the next one should come as absolutely no surprise to you. I don't even think I need to say it. I think you can guess it straight away.
It's gonna be San
Uh,
Andreas, I'd imagine.
See, am I just predictable at this stage? Who knows?
Yes.
But yeah, it's San Andreas. That game is like this is gonna sound really really weird out of context, right? I'm gonna say it anyway. So when a mother gives birth, there's supposedly that
Ah?
instant connection. There's that instant connection with your child. Like, I don't know, I'm not a mother and I don't plan to be one anytime soon. But
Well, I hope
um,
not. A mother.
you never know. I could be a mother.
Well, yeah, you could one day, I
You know,
guess.
I'd be a great mother. Thank you very much. San Andreas to me is just I don't know if it's because it was the first game I properly like got immersed in. I have no idea, but when you start that game up and the credits come up and you're just like, oh, not the credits rather, the intro scene, you know, you're just like, okay, I love this game already. I don't know why. I can't really explain it, but to me, San Andreas would be there without a doubt.
Yeah.
Um, got a few more. I've got Black Ops 1. That
Okay.
game, the every time you hear that, just the memories come flooding back, and I'm like, yeah, if I could go back when it was brand new and play it as a level 1, and everyone else is a noob, and no one's got like gold guns or any of this ridiculous stuff, no one's hacking, back to day one, 100%, without a doubt. And I
You
would
see,
sit there.
for me with this, sorry to interject.
No, you're all right.
Call of Duty, like Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, aren't on my list for that reason, as I'd value personally the memories we had on those games over erasing that and starting again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a
But that's
freak
just
when it
me.
comes to levels, though, so you know that more than anyone.
Yeah,
Like, back in the day when COD was
sweaty.
oh mate, honestly, every single Call of Duty possible, other than Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4, because immediately I got into lobbies on those ones, I would be max prestige without a doubt. I'd be max prestige. I just have a thing about being max prestige. Don't know why. Maybe it's because I have no life, or maybe it's because I'm just twisted. But yeah,
Both.
Black Ops 1, both. Yeah, I don't know. Both sounds about right, to be fair. But no, you are right. There are some good, really, really good memories, especially on that game.
Yeah, for sure.
The other next one is the Hitman series, which is an interesting one.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about Hitman. I haven't played the third one yet. I do want it. It's on my list of games I want to buy. But I don't know what it is about Hitman. Like doing the levels for the first time, when you have no idea what's going on, you have no idea how the hell you got to do things, and you just form your own path. Because once you've done it once, you sort of know little bits about where things are and stuff like that. There's nothing better than just figuring it out for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, you go into the level, there's people everywhere, you're walking in your suit, and you have no idea what you got to do. You've just got these targets. And you're like, okay, sick. Now what do I do? That's great. I love that.
Just no clue what's going on except
Yeah.
this guy has to die.
Yep. Exactly. I've got two more. This one is on both lists, and I'll explain that when we get to the regret bit. Red Dead 2. That is
Okay.
on both of my lists. The reason why I want to play it again, I mean, I mean, I assume everyone's played it by now, but spoiler alert, I guess. After you find out what happens to Arthur, admittedly, there's a lot of people that don't like Arthur and stuff like that. When you play it again, if you haven't got to that point yet, or like you've got to that point and then you've gone back or whatever, you sort of know what's going to happen. Like, you know that no matter what you do, you end up as John Marston, right? And for me, that's just like, okay, cool. I wish I could go back and not know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and then play it through again. But yeah, that's about it for that one. And then next one, last one is Sonic Adventure Battle 2. That
Okay.
game was just brilliant. Like, I don't know, I would love to just go back to the first day I played that game and just I don't know, it just entertained me for hours. So, what like I say again, there's not much to do once you've done everything, but I love the game, so I wish I could just pretend like I don't know what happens and go and play it again. But yeah, I think that's about it. So you can go on to your list now.
A lot of mine, although they're different games, have a lot of the same reasoning.
Hmm.
And I'll get into one that's just relevant to what you just said. Is Red Dead Redemption 1 for me. I would
Okay.
absolutely love to play for the first time again. Similar reasoning, just with John Marston, as I think John Marston
Best character.
potentially the best Rockstar character they've ever done for me.
Ooh, yeah,
So I
fair
know
enough.
it's going to trigger people, but
Fair enough.
and the magic of just riding around on your horse like your Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus
I
on the
just
Old
knew
Town
you were going to
Road,
say that.
just rolling about.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
obviously what happens to John Marston at the end of the game. I won't get into it if you haven't played it, but
It's a
it,
big F.
yeah. And then you play as Jack Marston, who is an inferior character in every single way, and it kind of took away from the experience.
Hmm.
So that's my reasoning for that. A big one
That's fair.
that you said was game knowledge. You gain game knowledge with like Hitman, and it kind of takes away from the experience. For me, is the Soul series as a whole.
Yeah.
If I could go back and play all of them for the first time again, I absolutely would. As Dark Souls to this day is still my favourite game ever made, but I've spent over 1,000 hours on the game. I know it. I don't think there is anything I haven't seen.
Hmm.
So the experience sort of isn't or I don't think authentic is the right word, but it's not as
Yeah.
strong as it was the first time I ever played it, and just felt pain. Which the
Felt
Souls
pain.
games take a special kind of person to sit there.
Yeah, they're called psychopaths.
Yeah, sociopaths. So I think it's one
Every
of them.
path under the sun.
Yeah, if I could, I absolutely would, as I'm pretty sure those games made me a man.
Well, it
So I
definitely
don't
made you a
think-
summon.
Psychotic, I think.
I can tell you that for nothing. But yeah, no.
Help, send help. But for sure, the
SOS.
Souls games, every single one, even Dark Souls 2.
Okay.
Next up, I think Skyrim has to be there, and this wasn't one of my favourite games or anything,
Mhm.
but I think Skyrim to this day. Now watch one of the clips that came out last Friday, I believe, if this would be up on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And we talked about what's better as a fantasy RPG, Skyrim or Witcher 3. For me, Skyrim.
Yep.
I think it is the RPG king currently,
I think
and
it's hard to disagree with that.
I just remember the feeling I had when you first get in and you wake up in the carriage, and that scene's just become a meme. Oh, you're awake, and then you make your character,
Mhm.
and then you just, after about 30 minutes of kind of hand holding, you're just left to do what you like. And
Off
it's
you
just
go, mate.
the magic of this massive, in-depth, free world. That there is always going to be stuff. I had it on PS3 originally, and then I got it on Xbox One later when it came out, like special edition for the 12th time. And I just remember, like, I think on PS3 I had about 300 hours into the game, and there was still things that I was finding on Xbox One that I had never seen before,
That's cool.
and things like that. So I think if I just could go back and play it again for the first time, I absolutely would.
I think the only thing I did on that game was run around and rob everyone. So
Oh yeah, everyone does a playthrough like that. Just ultimate evil
yeah,
playthrough, just killing people, robbing people, getting bounties. A really fun thing to do actually on Skyrim for anyone that is playing. Just go to every single town and just murder everybody and get the biggest bounty possible, and then just have a massive standoff in Whiterun. It's the greatest thing.
Sounds fun.
With the ragdoll physics, it is a blast. But I absolutely recommend, if no one has played Skyrim by now, it may not be the best game ever made, but I think there are definitely RPGs out there that are better games. But I think in terms of pure RPG at its standpoint in the industry, I think Skyrim is king in that regard.
I'll rate that.
Other ones, there isn't actually too many for me on this list. God of War is one of the others for PS4, the 2018 version. I remember it was the first game I actually played on PS4, like single player wise.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And it was just literally from start to finish, it was just pure magic. I think, to this day, I think the best game on the PS4, Xbox One gen. And I just like...
Bold claims, my friend.
Bold claims, bolder than Kratos' head. I think it's just one of those things where, like, the twist at the end with finding out who your son is and things, I won't reveal it for anyone who hasn't played, but...
Yeah, it's actually me.
It me, by the way. it just pops up and it's just Big Chungus.
Yeah.
But it's one of those where...
I need to make a mod for that. Sorry, go on.
So, I don't even know if the game's moddable. I don't think so, because it's only PS4, unfortunately, which
Sad
sucks.
game.
But
anyway,
I think I can't think of a bad thing about the game. The story, the art direction, the music, the dialogue, everything is beautiful.
Oh, it's well crafted.
And experiencing that again for the first time, I would. Similarly, Horizon Zero Dawn, very similar to God of War, one of the best games on this gen. Very similar, very heavy sort of third-person story-driven game. Mm-hmm. And I kind of slept on this game for quite a long time. Didn't play it. It was on my list to play for ages, but I just never did. I always had someone else I wanted to play more. And then I remember playing it and thinking, I didn't start playing it till 2020. And I remember playing it thinking, what have I missed? Like, this is incredible. It's your typical PS4 exclusive, like third person story driven, and it's just the vast landscapes, all the creatures. I think potentially might have some of the best voice acting I've ever seen in my life, because a lot of the actors that play main characters are like Hollywood actors.
Damn.
So you can tell as well, because they have their face like digitally. Their character actually looks like them. Like you've seen the John Wick films, haven't you?
Oh, you do. Yes, I have.
You know the black guy that runs the hotel.
Oh yeah, I love him.
He's one of the main characters in Horizon.
Okay.
Like, he's the whole reason why everything's gone completely wrong.
Wow.
And
you're really into making bold claims this episode, aren't you?
No, like, genuinely, no. His character is the one that kind of like shafts everything.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just like that almost turned into a scandal.
Revealing a new plot hole in the story.
No, I love the actor. I'm not trying to say that Guerrilla Games made a big mistake. But, no, I think absolutely again similar to God of War. I would. I think they're the ones off the top of my head.
That's a pretty comprehensive list. I like it.
As with yours, a lot of yours were like the memories, whereas for me, I don't think I would trade the memories I have on some of these older games to play them again for the first time.
Okay.
Just in case. Just in case I didn't have the same experience again, and that was it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That makes sense.
But on to the games now, on the flip side.
Oh, baby,
whereas there are games we would play for the first time again, games we regret even playing at all.
Oh,
Like,
but yeah,
let
yeah, right. This is where I shine, boy.
me
This
just
is.
get my whole PS4 collection out
Let me
and
just look
just
at the
start
games I've played. I'll
and
list them
list
all down.
all of them, but about three.
Right.
But
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna start.
go for it.
So, so one. This is a big one for Tom Clancy's Wildlands. That game sucked.
Yeah, I've never
Honest.
played it. Never
Yeah.
played
Don't.
it.
Anyone that does play it needs just help. It's your typical Ubisoft copy and paste, and like it's probably fun with more people. I mean, I play myself because I have no friends, right? So, but
Help.
the game, help, please, someone be my friend, please. Um, like, sorry, I was saying that while looking at my Discord picture. For some reason, it just makes me laugh. Wildlands, yeah. Back to that. I don't know what it was, but I think I bought it um, because it was cheap and it was supposed to be good, right? It was on sale or something. And I bought it and I thought, yeah, And then I forgot it's a Ubisoft game, so it's going to be exactly like every other one, just with different characters. And then, come to find out, they build this vast like landscape and massive map,
It looks lovely.
and there's nothing to do in it. Like, you can't build a massive map and put about 3 villages in it and then expect the game to be like, yeah, go on.
Poking it with a stick, like, do
Yeah.
something.
I'm just like, nah, get in the bin, mate.
It's like
fully
the size of an ocean with the depth of a paddling pool.
legit.
Nothing
ju-
there.
I was just really, really hoping my eyeballs were gonna fall out while I was playing it, and then I realised it's like, right, this is getting sent. So it got sent, funny enough,
Snap the disc.
and then I never played it ever again. I think I sold it, so it's someone else's problem now.
Good start.
Number 2, this was on both my lists, Red Dead 2. I think this one's going to be really difficult to explain, but I kind of regret playing it just because I spent so much time on it, and I really don't know why, because I didn't like it that much. Like I liked the story, and then once the story was done, I was like, okay.
I'm gonna go barricade my house, but I'm about to say something that's gonna get me killed.
Yeah, you might want to like move just in case.
But I don't like Red Dead 2 at all. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.
Yeah, legit. Thank you for watching the podcast. We're cancelled now. No,
yeah.
I get it, but like, if I wanted, right, to ride on a horse halfway across the map, I'd play Farming Simulator 19, right? I don't need a game like that to be that bloody big. Like, stop.
Is it bad that I'd rather play Farm Sim 19 than Red Dead 2?
No, because I would too. But I'm gonna let that one sit in your lot's minds before I trigger anyone else.
Bro, before we come out something like that ever again.
You know me. I don't like anything anyone likes because hipster life and all that. Anyway, next one is this one is funny enough. I think it was the first episode I mentioned it as one of my favorite games of all time, but I definitely regret the time I lost to it, and that's RuneScape. That game took like 12 years of my life, right, and many hours, and like no, just don't do it to yourself. It's hyper addicting. It's yeah, that's all I can say about that one. It's a mess. You get into it, and because of the time it takes to do anything in that game, you will be in that game for the rest of your life, unless you just get rid of it.
Sounds
same
good.
with League of Legends. That's on the list as well.
That's on mine as well.
Like however many hours, like one game takes like 45 minutes. You could do maybe 6 games in a day, and that's pathetic. That's dumb. Doing 6 games or whatever, but that's like almost 6 hours. That's like a whole day. Like, bruh. I mean,
It just
how
ruined
much?
like. I might as well talk about this as well because this is on
Yeah.
my list to stop us talking about it twice. it just like League of Legends ruined my whole life almost.
Oh, it puts me in a bad
I
mood.
it's almost there for one of my favourite games for the memories I had it on the game.
Yep.
But it is also a game I regret spending literally years on
Yep.
because our wallets regret it too.
I mean,
And
yours
our
worse than mine,
sanity.
admittedly.
Yeah, I spent over $2,000 on the game, and I want the $2,000 like right now. So
Yeah, right.
please
Sort out.
write a refund. but like, yeah, the same as you. You can manage to get about 6 games within a 24-hour time period, and it just makes you miserable.
Oh, I also love the fact that they're like, play it with friends. It's great team building. No, it isn't. It's the only way to make sure that a relationship never lasts. Like,
yeah, literally. This is how every League of Legends game goes, right? You go in as a 5-man. It all starts off well.
yeah.
Then it gets out of laning phase, and then it's just 6 guys. Wait, how many? No, it's 5 on each
5.
team, isn't it? So 5 on each team. It's just 10 guys just walking around until
my case-
some idiot gets caught.
In my case, you don't even have to wait till you're out of laning phase till I'm flaming people. Like,
And then
it's
literally
done.
someone gets caught, everyone starts flaming them, everyone starts arguing about whose fault it is, and
Oh,
then
mate.
everyone's in a bad mood.
I was the most toxic human being on that game.
Yeah, you were very toxic.
I said some very unsavoury things that I shall never repeat ever again in my entire life.
He's
But,
reformed.
I am a good man now. I'm a reformed gentleman.
Just League of Legends just made me angry. I think
It literally made me miserable. I don't even know why I bothered. But, you know, you live and you learn. Next one I think you can agree with as well, but you didn't play it nearly as much as I did, was Division 2, a game blow.
Yeah, I played it a little bit and realised that this is a bad game.
I'm starting to realise
So-
a trend here. Most of my games are Ubisoft.
Yep.
Like, maybe I should just stop playing Ubisoft games. Maybe that's a shout. Who knows? The next one, I'm not going to say much about Division. Like, that game was just,
Yeah, the game's bad.
it was just a reskin of the first one. Like,
Yeah, and the first one wasn't very good, so
no,
it was
especially
just
when they added the
kinda-
second raid or whatever it was, and it was unbeatable. But yeah. Next, Fall Guys. A game sucked. You know, funny times on it, but the game sucked.
I don't think
that was-
Fall Guys is one that I regret playing. It's just one that I probably wouldn't play again. I think its time has come.
I just regret playing all battle royales, to be honest. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
don't think I've got any battle royales on mine. To be
I would
fair.
say
Not really.
Fortnite, but I don't want to get killed. So
I haven't played the Fortnite enough, to be honest, to
mate.
have like enough to regret.
I got like a few hundred hours on Fortnite or something. Like, not a lot, but enough to know that I don't want to play it again. Next one, Death Stranding. That just says it all, really. That game sucked. It was literally just music and nice scenery. And probably spent about 20, 30 hours on it, which granted isn't a long time until I realised that the gameplay itself sucked. And then I regret.
It's just is no game. It's,
Yeah,
it's
not a
all
game.
visuals and like
You know.
nice scenery. That's pretty much
Which-
it.
Fair enough. And then this one is only because of the money aspect, and that's FIFA.
Okay.
I like the games, don't get me wrong, and I do still play FIFA from time to time. And I play I play the career mode, but Ultimate Team is just a money sink. End of story.
Yeah, I'd stopped. FIFA's done for me now. I
You know,
haven't. Never
but-
getting 21.
I like 21. It's fun.
21?
Yeah, 21. You stupid. Anyway, yeah, that's my list, mate. That's apparently I just don't like Ubisoft, so maybe I should stop playing their games.
Now, for me, I struggled to come up with a lot of games
Okay.
for this because I'm a lot more sort of open. I think with
Mhm.
I will literally play anything.
Yep.
And I'm one of these people. I have a sort of philosophy where until I've played the game for about 20, 30 hours, I cannot judge whether this game is good or not.
Maybe that just
which
makes you more
means,
accepting than me.
it kind of leaves me susceptible to then playing the whole game and realising I don't actually like it. So
Yeah.
I struggled. I'm not going to go to League of Legends anymore. That was the first one I come up with on my list.
Yep.
Other than that, it's a real struggle. It was really hard to kind of find. FIFA is on that as well for me, just because it's a lot of hours and money wasted on a game that I didn't really like in the first place. Like, the career mode's fun and Ultimate Team is enjoyable, but it's
Yeah. No.
it's just anger. I can't.
Yes.
I get
Yes.
so mad and
Things start
controls.
flying and it's
Yeah, I can't do it to myself. So FIFA, I think it's one I regret like getting into as hard as I did. It doesn't help that I'm a big football fan, so I'm just naturally drawn to it.
Yep.
But other than that, I can't really say that I 100% regret.
Damn.
There's a few games that I like, have platinumed or 100%ed on PS4 that I just think, why have I bothered with this?
Are they Lego games by the chance?
Pre-sequel. Oh, I'll get into that. Borderlands pre-sequel's on the fence because I'm a massive Borderlands fan, but it was painful.
Only because we were doing it wrong the entire time.
Oh yeah. It wasn't until I looked it up and realised, hang on, we're doing all this we don't need to do.
Yeah, hold on.
But that was kind of miserable, but I don't know if I regret it, because now I have like the whole collection 100%ed and it looks nice.
True.
But it was just slow. It took, I don't even know how many hours you spent playing it. Must have been over 100.
Too many.
Yeah, and pre-sequel I think is the weakest one in the franchise as it is.
Agreed.
I think we should have started on 2. It might have been more enjoyable, but
I mean, it's alright at the end.
yeah, we finished it.
Somehow.
And yeah, Lego. Well, you mentioned all the Lego games, so this kind of started with a thing, and it's become a bit of an obsession that I wish I was dead for. So it's basically when I met my partner, she never really played video games ever. So trying to introduce her to that, I said I remember having the disc for one of like the Lego games on Xbox One, and I thought, look, why don't you play this? It's easy to play, and she did. And then she really liked them, and now this has turned into I have to play every single Lego game ever made with her, and that means 100% in it. But she has the attention span of a fish, so
I rate that.
it turns into me having to play it all, because then I'm annoyed, because I am very OCD with my trophies. I have to, if a game isn't 100% and I actually can do it, it annoys me. So
I just want to add an amendment. He's not OCD. He's just weird. So
yeah, I don't actually have OCD or anything. It's just one of these like little things that bugs me.
He's just an odd specimen of a human being.
I'm a completionist when it comes to games. I don't like leaving games undone.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
And this is like the pain I had with Neo. I loved the game to bits, but when I got to like New Game Plus 4,
made you want to cry.
Yeah, it was tears, because it's everything one-shots you, and you're sitting there. Like, you have to do it for trophies, for the DLC.
Oh, yeah, you'd blow up my phone being like, oh, I'm sick and tired of this.
And then it got to the point where I got so mad that I ended up just uninstalling it. Yeah. Because it was... I'm one of them as well with trophies for games that have DLC. If you get the Platinum, it doesn't come up 100%, and it really annoys me. So I have to get the DLC, naturally.
My trophy list must drive you mental.
Yeah, I don't look at it because it annoys me. I don't look at my own anymore because it annoys me.
I've got games on games on games, mate.
I think this one's a bit more sort of specific, but you know games I regret playing at all?
Go on.
Right. Again, regarding trophy lists, games that have 1% or 2% on the trophy list, I'm never going to play again. They're just sitting there permanently.
Well, that's the worst thing, because you can actually hide them. If there's 0%.
Yeah. They need to add a feature where you can just hide it, if you like, from the thing, because it really bugs me. Yeah. And they're games I'm never going to play again. Like there's a few. There's like the Division 2 is one.
Yeah, that game
You were
can
like,
get in the bin.
it's on sale, get it, we can play it.
Yeah, then I
Right?
never played it with you.
Yeah, we played it for like 2 hours. You're like, this game sucks. I don't want to play this again. And I'm just sitting there like, wow.
You just got pranked.
I literally got pranked out of 40 quid.
Yeah, it was a
But
good
it
prank.
was, and the things like that I regret for sure, because that's more of like a thing that annoys me, sort of thing. But there's not really many games that I regret just a straight up playing for a long time, because I'm generally quite more accepting of games than you.
Oh, absolutely. If I don't
Like,
like something, I'm not going to play it.
yeah, you're the type of person that will know after like 10 minutes. He's like, nah,
Yeah.
not playing
I mean,
this.
to be fair, right, 9 times out of 10, I'm right with my opinion for myself. Like, I'll know
Yeah, obviously.
within like 10 minutes if I'm going to like the game or not. I mean, some people don't, but for me, I'm just like, I know for a fact I'm not going to play this ever again. And 9 times out of 10, I
Yeah.
don't. So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, yes, everyone's different and that sort of
Oh,
thing.
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So, but
But
yeah.
no,
Is
I,
is
I
there any
don't
other
think.
topics you had that you wanted to talk about, or?
I don't think so. I think that is it. I can't think of anything else regarding what we have.
Cool. Okay, well, I guess this marks the end of episode 4. Interesting. So that means that marks the month anniversary, which is interesting,
Yeah, technically, yeah.
which is cool. So, going strong. As we said in the beginning, thank you very, very much for the support. Everything's been going a bit better than what we expected, actually.
Yeah,
I think.
we're getting a much better reception in a quicker time frame than we ever expected.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's it seems like everyone and their mothers does a podcast. So
Yeah, it's very saturated, but somehow we've managed to kind of
do our thing,
emerge in a way. Yeah, it's
and it's fun.
like,
It's fun.
it's something enjoyable to do.
Yeah, it gives us
So,
something to focus on. And
hopefully, here's to the future with it.
well,
See
exactly,
where it goes, and
exactly, my friend. So again, this is the end of episode 4. Thank you very much for listening. If you enjoyed, make sure that if you're watching us on YouTube, you subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and comment anything that you think we can change. We're on every single platform right now, so that includes Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. There's a few others to mention, but again, we don't really use any other platforms other than the 3 I just mentioned. Socials, we're on Instagram and Twitter. And one note about the Twitter, actually, is we're very, very, very close to 100 followers. We should have reached it by the time this video goes out. Recording currently Monday the 25th, and this will be out on Sunday. So we should have reached 100 Twitter followers by then. If not, obviously,
yeah.
make sure you follow us for updates. Join the Discord channel. That will be in the description of the video, and it's also in the description of the podcast. And I think that is about everything. Is there anything you would like to add?
Just stay safe, and thank you all for the support.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will see you next week with a brand new episode.
See
Take
you next
care.
week.
Goodbye.
Bye.